coming up on today's swim episode.
And so you do have to be careful in that when you have a brand new song and you're going after it, you're grinding, trying to get it done. If you overdo it, sometimes you can do it to the point where you start to feel that it's not a good idea. So just be careful with that. Yeah, you want to put a lot of work in to make.
This is Swim, Success with Music.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Walt. You are listening to Success with Music. This is a podcast for singers, songwriters, beat makers, music students. As always, we are about the music life. Hey, man, I appreciate you listening to the show. It's been a while. I know it's been a minute, but we're back and been involved with quite a few different things here, so was not able to get as many episodes out as I normally do, but here's to getting back into the groove. And again, my name is Walt. If you happen to be new to the podcast, we're going to be talking about something that I've had some struggles with. In fact, before getting on this episode today, I was kind of working through what we're going to be talking about today. So, I want to go ahead and get into it. All right, hope you guys have been well. It's for us here in the U.S., it's near that holiday time where we have our Thanksgiving and the other holidays will be coming up, Christmas and then New Year's and all that. And I know a lot of us, man, we start to think about accomplishments, things that we have done in the past year, things that we want to do in the coming year. And one major area that has plagued me, just being completely honest, is just finishing songs, just finishing tracks, finishing ideas. And I've seen like a ton of memes out there about, people who have like 1,000 songs and they never finish. And of course, the hot new song shows up and you completely forget about, the other ideas you have, man. So it's real out here. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So on today's episode, I want to just go through a few thoughts that will hopefully help you in getting through your songwriting process, just getting material out, just getting things completed. And as I'm looking at my list here, I have 7 thoughts for you. Give you some things to think about, and hopefully things that will help you really get back into the songwriting process and just get things finished. All right. So here's the first thing. I partner with a good music friend and he has like a super huge setup. I mean, his is like probably 4 times larger than my music studio setup. I mean, he has like the newest gear, the newest toys. And, we hang out once a week. We go over, we collab and we do some things. And every time I show up at his spot, honestly, I kind of feel bad, because he has like all of the new outboard gear, all the new microphones, all the new software. And I kind of feel like when I see his setup, when I get back to my gear, I feel like I'm way behind and I feel like I'm missing out on something. I feel like I don't have enough tools to do and to take care of the music that I'm writing. Like, I hear some of his tracks or I hear some of the patches. I'm like, wow, that's big, that's full, that's whatever. And the inclination is to feel that I need to go out and purchase new gear in order to get things moving along. So I'm telling my story to say this: don't fall into that trap. You don't need new gear per se. So yeah, if you have some super crappy El Basico cheapo microphone, yeah, okay, I get it. You may want to upgrade your gear. But if you have a decent condenser microphone, you have a decent digital audio workstation, some decent plugins, just try to get to work. Try not to make the lack of gear be the thing that causes you not to finish songs. So that's one thought. The next thought is this: hearing your song a lot can make you like it less. So I have this track that I developed a while back. I absolutely love this track. When I created it, when I started jotting down the initial lyrics, the melody, the concept, I was just like, this song is a banger. It is going to just blow up all kinds of charts everywhere. And yeah, man, I got excited, super excited, start working on it, working on it, working on it, working on it. And after some point, I just honestly got tired of hearing it. And the more I heard it, I'm like, it's all right. It's okay. And the more I heard it, I'm like, yeah, let me work on something else. And I wound up just shifting gears away from that song because I heard it so much, the enthusiasm left. And so you do have to be careful in that when you have a brand new song and you're going after it, you're grinding, trying to get it done. If you overdo it, sometimes you can do it to the point where you start to feel that it's not a good idea. So just be careful with that. Yeah, you want to put a lot of work in to make sure it gets done. I know how we do. We in there messing around with that snare for like the next 8 hours. Try to move off of that because you're going to wind up hearing it so much that you very well could lose your enthusiasm. And as I said in the beginning, the next hot song shows up or the newest idea shows up, you just dump that one for another. So just be careful about that. And that leads me to my next point. New ideas will always seem more interesting. It's just how it is, right? It's fresh. And if you're the one that's making it, of course, it's like you're a genius. And the thing you want to do, you want to get out there, you want to get into the studio, that is, and start grinding it out. You want to make sure you can push it out to your audience. You want to make sure someone doesn't steal your idea. There are a number of reasons why we get excited about brand new ideas. But here's the thing. New ideas can be a killer for the previous ideas that you have. So I'm not against new ideas. If you can, try to go ahead and create like a scratch track, whip out your phone and maybe record the melody or whatever. Maybe just do a few bars on your guitar, record it, and then, or put it in your notebook, whatever you use, and just shelve it for a while. But force yourself to give preference to the ideas that you've already started, especially the ones where you're almost just about done and you never get there completely. You just dump it for that brand new idea. So again, be careful. All right, next thing. The Olympics are coming up in Japan. Looking forward to it. It's going to be super awesome. I know we're talking about music and I'm talking about Olympics here. What's the correlation? When I've watched gymnastics over the years, it seems like it's nearly impossible for a gymnast to get a perfect score. Like, and I know it's probably happened, but I'm just talking about across the board and everything and all with all the judges. 10, right? It's difficult. I don't know about you, but me as a musician, I am looking to get a perfect score. I want everything to be absolutely tight. I want the mix to be phenomenal. I want the patch selection to be amazing. Hey, that guitar that's in the track, I want it to be amazing. Go on and on and on and on. And so, and I kind of alluded to it earlier, there you are playing around that snare drum for the last 8 hours, right? Just tweaking the EQ. The problem is that when we get into believing that we're going to score a perfect 10 on everything, production, songwriting, it's not going to actually happen. And for those of you who are perfectionists, it's going to hinder you from actually pushing out that new track because you're going to be obsessed with getting a perfect 10 in all categories. And reality is just, it's really not going to happen. That's just the facts. So if you can, go out there, give it your best, but just don't get hung up on perfection. In the world of music, there is no such thing. All music is relative. What you think is sweet is based off of your opinion. It's subjective, right? And so if you think you're going to get the perfect score in something, it may be absolute 10s for you. Guaranteed for someone else, it's going to be a 7 or 8, maybe a 2. So don't make perfection the thing that you're seeking. All right, next thought. And again, these are going sequentially. I'm kind of building upon ideas, right? So my previous advice alluded to not worrying about getting the perfect score. Here's the reason why you don't need to worry about that. See songwriting as a larger training regimen for you as a producer, as a musician, not a succession of perfect compositions, as I just mentioned. See each song that you push out as a lesson learned. If you can think about songwriting in that way, then your life as a musician is more of a journey versus a destination. I just want to arrive at having the hottest song on the planet. I think we all do. But that really doesn't happen for a lot of people. It's a journey. And as you're going through production, as you're trying new ideas, new harmonies, maybe new modes or new instrumentation or whatever, as you do that, you evolve, you learn things, you grow, and you can even look back and your music becomes like this timeline of your skill, your life, kind of where you are in terms of competency. So again, see your songwriting as a larger training exercise. And here's the thing, and I want to mention this to you. I've met with this international song coach and music trainer, and really, really great guy from Australia. He had mentioned to me when I was speaking with him that the reality is if you are a prolific songwriter, you just bang out songs over and over again. He was saying that less than 10% of the songs that you write will be bangers. Think about that. Less than 10% will be like really, really, really top of the top. Now, I want you to go back and think about the artists that you feel are the absolute best in their field, in their craft. If you listen to the body of their work, there will always be those top 5, maybe 10 songs. But off of an album, right, there's always going to be that one that everybody knows. And then, there's going to be that obscure track. Well, guess what that obscure track is? That's the one that's not the banger. The number one hit song that you hear everywhere else in rotation, that may be the banger. I was doing that the other day. I was listening to one of the musicians that I grew up just admiring, and I was just listening to the body of his work, and I was online looking at all like the views online. I was looking at some of his videos on YouTube, and I realized some of the songs I liked, a lot of people didn't. The big hits, everyone knew about them. So I realized, oh, you know what? Even though this guy is a very good songwriter and performer and all that, there are only a few of his songs that really went on to like the highest of levels. So the point is, you do want to get out there and write a lot more. If you only push out 1, 2, 3 songs, and I'm telling you that 10% of your songs will be bangers, well, guess what? The banger hasn't happened yet. You need to at least have 10 songs out there for people to maybe gravitate to that one that's amazing. Again, if I'm sticking with the math here. So think about that. And again, this ties back to my previous statement. See the songwriting exercise as a larger training. Think about all of the athletes out there that we know and we celebrate and we watch on television, whether it be football or soccer or basketball, whatever. These people take hundreds, maybe thousands of practice shots, go through different drills, hundreds and hundreds of times. Over the course of their careers, they may play in hundreds of games, right? And we as watchers or fans or consumers, sure, we'll see that highlight of that person with that phenomenal once in a lifetime catch or play or shot. The point is, these people have spent their time, spent their lives practicing their craft in front of everyone. And then sure enough, there's that moment where you think, whoa, this person is amazing. And sure, if they're some of the greats, they're going to do it more often than not. But in order for those times to show up, there are many other times where they're just all right. I hope I made that point. Let's move to the next thing here. Trend chasing can be dangerous for your songwriting activities. I'll sit down, start banging out a song, and I'm listening to it. I'm like, man, this is going to be amazing. And unfortunately, I may pop on my Spotify playlist, like the new tracks that are out there, and I realize, whoa, hey, that's a different sound. Oh, I didn't know about that. How did they make that do that? And next thing you know, when you come back to the song you were working on after listening to like a Spotify playlist or the new tracks from whatever artist, you start to feel like, whoa, I am antiquated, I'm dated, and you'll wind up chasing a trend that's out there if you are not careful. I encourage you to listen to music all the time. I think it makes you a better musician, but resist the urge